Did you know your thoughts are shaping reality right now? Today, I'm going to share with you 5 profound truths about life. And if you can embrace these 5 beliefs, your life will be transformed forever. So let's dive right in. Number 1, there's one power, one mind, one source. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. This should give you an idea of how important thoughts are. We all know the story of the Big Bang Theory. They say everything started with a single cell, a single fertilized egg, and over time, through division, became many. What if this is true? What if we started as one and one created all? How does this apply to us today? Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and gazed at the stars and wondered if there was intelligent life out there? If you have, then you know what I'm talking about. There is this vastness, this immensity, this bigness that is beyond our understanding. And in that moment, we feel very small, very insignificant. But what if we are not? What if we are part of something much bigger than ourselves? What if we are connected to everything in the universe? When we start to believe that we are one with everything, then we start to see that we are not separate from other people. We are not separate from nature. We are not separate from the universe. We are all connected and we are all part of the same whole. And when we start to see this, then we start to see that we are all responsible for taking care of each other and taking care of the planet. Because when we harm another person, we are harming ourselves. When we destroy nature, we are destroying ourselves. When we pollute the planet, we are polluting ourselves. Now, some of you may be thinking, this is all very well and good, but how does this apply to my life? How does this affect me? Well, let me tell you, it affects you in every way imaginable. Because when you start to see that you are one with everything, then you start to see that you have the power to change everything. You have the power to change your life, the lives of others, and the future of our planet. So I want you to take a moment to really think about this. Are you ready? Here goes nothing. Think about all the times in your life when you have felt alone, when you have felt like you didn't belong, when you have felt like you were different from everyone else. Think about all the times in your life when you have felt lost, when you have felt confused, when you have felt like you didn't know what to do next. Think about all the times in your life when you have felt afraid, when you have felt like you were not enough, when you have felt like you were not good enough. And now I want you to think about all the times in your life when you have felt loved, when you have felt like you belonged, when you have felt like you were part of something bigger than yourself. Think about all the times in your life when you have felt happy, when you have felt at peace, when you have felt like everything was going to be okay. Think about all the times in your life when you have felt proud, when you have felt like you could do anything, when you have felt like there was nothing you couldn't accomplish. Which feeling do you want to feel more of in your life? The negative feelings or the positive feelings? I know what I would choose. And I know that you would choose the positive feelings too. If you want to feel more positive emotions in your life, then you need to start thinking positive thoughts. You need to start thinking thoughts that make you feel good, thoughts that make you feel happy, thoughts that make you feel like everything is going to be okay. And when you start thinking positive thoughts, then you start attracting positive experiences into your life. You start attracting people who make you feel good, situations that make you feel happy, and opportunities that make you feel proud. So I want you to remember this. You are not separate from anything. You are part of everything. You are part of the universe. You are part of the planet. You are part of the human race. You are part of the family of man. And when you start to realize this, then you start to realize that you have the power to change everything. Now that you understand there is one power, one mind, one source, let's move on to point number 2. You are part of it, not apart from it. We all know the story of the prodigal son, A man had two sons, and the younger son wanted his inheritance early. He got it, and he left home, and he went off to a far country, and he wasted his money, and he found himself in a bad situation. And when he was in that bad situation, he started to feel really bad about himself. He started to feel like he wasn't worthy of his father's love. And so he decided to go back home and to ask his father for forgiveness. And when the father saw his son coming back, he ran to him and he hugged him and he kissed him and he welcomed him back with open arms. And the father didn't even ask him why he had left or why he had wasted his money. The father didn't even ask him for an explanation. The father just loved him and he welcomed him back with open arms. And sometimes we can feel like the prodigal son. We can feel like we have made mistakes and we have wasted our lives and we don't know what to do next. But we need to remember that we are not separate from God. We are not separate from the universe. We are not separate from the planet. We are not separate from anything. We are part of everything. And when we start to realize this, then we start to realize that we are always loved, we are always supported, and we are always forgiven. Many years ago, I was going through a really tough time in my life. I was feeling really bad about myself. I was feeling like I wasn't worthy of God's love. And so I prayed and I asked God for help. And God spoke to me and God said, "My child, you are not separate from me. You are part of me. You are not alone. You are loved. You are not abandoned. You are cherished. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. And I am with you always." And those words changed my life forever. They gave me hope when I felt like there was no hope. They gave me strength when I felt like I had no strength. They gave me courage when I felt like I had no courage. And they reminded me that I am not separate from God. I am not separate from the universe. I am not separate from the planet. I am part of everything. And when I start to realize this, then I start to realize that I have the power to change everything. Now that you understand there is one power, one mind, one source, and you are part of it, not apart from it, let's move on to point number 3. Thought is the bridge between the visible and invisible. As above, so below. As within, so without. We often think of the physical world as being separate from the spiritual world. But this is not true. The physical world is simply the manifestation of the spiritual world. Everything that we see, hear, feel, taste, or smell is simply the result of energy vibrating at different frequencies. And we have the power to create our own reality by changing our thoughts. When we change our thoughts, we change our energy. And when we change our energy, we change our reality. This is why it is so important to focus on positive thoughts, because positive thoughts create positive energy. And positive energy creates a positive reality. Here is a simple example of how thought is the bridge between the visible and invisible. Let's say you want to manifest $1 million. You can't just sit around and wish for it to happen. You have to take action. And the first step is to get clear on exactly what you want. Do you want $1 million in cash? Do you want $1 million in investments? Do you want $1 million in your bank account? Once you get clear on exactly what you want, then you need to start taking action towards that goal. You need to start investing in yourself. You need to start investing in your education. You need to start investing in your skills. You need to start investing in your relationships. And over time, as you continue to invest in yourself, you will start to see results. You will start to see money coming into your life from unexpected sources. You will start to see opportunities falling into your lap. And eventually, you will reach your goal of $1 million. But it all starts with a thought. It starts with a vision of what you want to create in your life. And when you have that vision, then you need to take action towards it. And over time, as you continue to take action, then you will start to see results. Now that you understand thought is the bridge between the visible and invisible, let's move on to point number 4. You are always creating consciously or unconsciously through belief and imagination. We all know the story of the boy who cried wolf. The boy was supposed to be watching over the sheep, but he was bored, so he started to yell, "Wolf, wolf," and everyone came running to help him. But when they got there, they realized that it was all a false alarm. This happened over and over again, and eventually the boy got tired of playing the game. But one day, a real wolf showed up, and when the boy yelled, "Wolf, wolf," nobody came to help him. And sometimes we can be like the people who heard the boy crying wolf. We can get so caught up in our own lives that we stop paying attention to the needs of others. We can become so desensitized to the suffering of others that we stop feeling empathy or compassion. But when someone really needs our help, we need to be there for them. We need to be willing to listen, to offer support, and to show up when they need us the most. And the only way we can do that is if we are paying attention to the world around us. We cannot afford to be so caught up in our own lives that we stop paying attention to the needs of others. We must always be aware of the energy around us so that we can be there for others when they need us the most. Now that you understand you are always creating consciously or unconsciously through belief and imagination, let's move on to point number 5. To live a greater life, you must think a greater thought. You cannot expect to live a life that is greater than your thoughts. You cannot expect to achieve your goals if you don't have a clear vision of what you want to achieve. You cannot expect to be happy if you don't cultivate thoughts of happiness. And you cannot expect to be successful if you don't cultivate thoughts of success. We all know the story of the Good Samaritan. A man was robbed and beaten and left for dead on the side of the road. A priest walked by and he didn't stop to help him. A Levite walked by and he didn't stop to help him. But a Samaritan, a foreigner, a person who was considered an outsider, stopped to help him. He took care of his wounds, he paid for his lodging, and he made sure that he was taken care of. And sometimes we can be like the priest and the Levite. We can see someone in need and we can walk right past them without helping them. But we need to remember that everyone we meet is an opportunity to practice kindness, compassion, and love. We don't know what kind of day someone is having. We don't know what kind of struggles they are facing. And we must always strive to be the person who stops to help, who offers a kind word, who shows compassion and love. And that is how we can create a better world, one act of kindness at a time. If you want to live a better life, then you must think better thoughts. You must cultivate thoughts of love, compassion, kindness, and generosity. And when you do this, you will start to see a change in your life. You will start to see more opportunities, more blessings, and more reasons to be grateful. So I want you to take a moment to really think about this. Are you ready? Here goes nothing. Think about all the times in your life when you have been kind to someone, when you have shown compassion to someone, when you have helped someone in need. Think about how good it made you feel. Think about all the times in your life when you have shown love to someone, when you have shown gratitude to someone, when you have appreciated someone. Think about how good it made you feel. And now I want you to think about all the times in your life when you have been unkind to someone, when you have shown apathy to someone, when you have ignored someone in need. Think about how bad it made you feel. Which feeling do you want to feel more of in your life? The negative feelings or the positive feelings? I know what I would choose, and I know that you would choose the positive feelings too. If you want to feel more positive emotions in your life, then you need to start thinking positive thoughts. You need to start thinking thoughts that make you feel good, thoughts that make you feel happy, thoughts that make you feel like everything is going to be okay. And when you start thinking positive thoughts, then you start attracting positive experiences into your life. You start attracting people who make you feel good, situations that make you feel happy, and opportunities that make you feel proud. So I want you to remember this. You are part of the one power, one mind, one source. You are not separate from anything. You are part of everything. You are part of the universe. You are part of the planet, You're a part of the human race. You're a part of the family of man. And when you start to realize this, then you start to realize that you have the power to change everything. Thank you for watching.